This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by CIBM Bank.
It's a nice quiet night here across central Illinois. Not a whole lot going on right now in the way of weather, but that could all change there tomorrow morning. Looking at our temperatures right now, sitting right around that 50-degree mark. Champaign, you are at 49. Springfield, you're at 48. We've got you up there on the Flooring America INET cam this evening. Take a look at our winds. A bit light out of the south-southwest between about 5 and 10 miles an hour so far here tonight. Let's look at that planner for the rest of the night tonight. You notice those clouds on the storm tracker Doppler at the top. Looking like those clouds are starting to filter into the air. That's going to keep those nighttime lows in check just a little bit. Low 40s, maybe just upper 30s for those that dodge those clouds down. Overall, looking like a nice, calm, and peaceful night tonight. Looking like things could change tomorrow, though. No rain along a front that's coming tomorrow, but those temperatures are definitely going to swing on the other side of that front. Looking at near freezing temperatures there by the time we get to tomorrow night. That cold weather's going to stick around, but just how long is that cold weather going to stay here? I'll let you know here on WCIA 3 News at 10 o'clock, which starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
We need to hold people accountable for their actions, and there needs to be a consequence that is significant enough to deter them from continuing to break the law.
This video is from almost a year and a half ago after a Champaign police officer was killed. Now, 2 women are being charged in connection to his death. Thanks for being here for your local news at 10. I'm Marley Capper. Amber Oberheim says she's proud of the investigative work that police have done and says this only strengthens her appreciation for law enforcement. Regina Lewis of Normal and Ashante Carruthers of Indianapolis are facing charges. They include conspiracy to illegally purchase and transfer a firearm and conspiracy to engage in misleading conduct. Last night, we told you that federal prosecutors say the woman worked with Darian Lafayette to get him a gun. He couldn't buy one because he was a convicted felon. The indictment says Carruthers lied when she bought the gun because she said it was for herself. Then she's accused of lying to Indianapolis police by saying the gun was stolen from her. Prosecutors say she made that false report in April. Lafayette used the gun on Officer Oberheim the following month at a domestic dispute call. Lafayette was shot and also killed. The indictment says the woman still tried to cover their tracks. Carruthers is accused of telling an investigator she didn't know Lafayette. Oberheim hopes this serves as an example about buying weapons and giving them to a convicted felon.
At the end of the day, I'm very grateful for the excellent police work that went into this case. I hope that it serves a purpose to, A, hold these 2 people accountable for their action that put the gun in Darian Lafayette's hands and allowed him to pull the trigger and kill my husband and shoot his partner 3 times.
She knows nothing will bring Chris back, but she says she's trusting the justice system that'll keep the women and others accountable. A teenage girl and a man are dead after a collision. It happened on Illinois State Route 4 late last night just south of Chatham. The Sangamon County coroner says the 17-year-old is from Verdon and the 31-year-old is from Beardstown. Autopsies are being scheduled and the families are being notified. State police are handling the investigation. Turning to our Eye on Our Heroes.
We feel that every veteran should have an honorable service and full military rights.
The remains of a soldier were laid in an unmarked grave for more than 100 years. Now Thomas Randolph has a headstone, and today he got a special service ceremony. He served in the Spanish-American and Philippine War in the late 1800s. WCIA 3's Theodora Couliveris attended the ceremony.
During his life, Randolph was a Buffalo soldier, a member of an all-African-American cavalry group formed in 1866. He served in the Spanish-American and Philippine-American wars and was honorably discharged. But when he died in a work accident, his remains were put in an unmarked grave.
With his family back in Nashville, Tennessee, one would assume that the logistics and expense of transporting his body back home was difficult, if not impossible.
After the cemetery was indexed, they discovered he was buried there.
We stumbled across it, and 2 or 3 of us, got together and made it happen. Got a marker here that'll be here forever now.
Now that Randolph has a headstone memorializing his legacy in stone, members of the Monticello Joint Honor Guard wanted to give him a proper military memorial service too.
We don't believe at the time he had a military rights service, and being veterans ourselves, we think it's very important to honor those who have served before us and current.
Here at Monticello Township Cemetery, they honored Randolph in a special ceremony.
Especially since he didn't have a headstone or a flag holder, it was just important to give him a long overdue veteran ceremony.
We feel that every veteran should have an honorable service and full military rights because they did sacrifice for their country, and we think they should be honored for that.
Thank you, Theodora. During the ceremony, military members read a prayer over his gravesite and told the story of his life and military service. Thousands of University of Illinois and alumni celebrated homecoming today. They flocked to the stadium wearing Illini gear to watch the school play Minnesota. Outside the stadium, students, fans, family were gathered, tailgating, playing ball, and eating just to celebrate. One student was there with his family, who are also U of I alumni.
I've been around the campus my whole life, so it's really fun being here, and I love it here. It's like my second home.
Before the big game, the school celebrated homecoming with an applied health science homecoming tailgate party. The school is continuing the homecoming festivities tonight. Right now, they're having a concert with Ludacris at the State Farm Center. Turning to our eye on politics, the debate over the Safety Act continues, and a growing number of state's attorneys are taking drastic action to try to enforce change. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Cole Hankey has more in a one-on-one interview with Champaign County State's Attorney Julia Reitz.
Over 50 states' attorneys are now suing the state over the Safety Act. It's part of a two-pronged approach by the Illinois State's Attorneys Association as they try to force changes to the law before it goes into effect on January 1st. While dozens are heading to the courtroom over the matter, there are a few members of the leadership team of the State's Attorneys Association that are sitting at the negotiating table with the governor and other stakeholders in the matter.
Well, I am very positive about the negotiations and the discussions that we've been having. I am very hopeful that we'll be able to come to a legislative agreement, a legislative solution that will solve the concerns and issues that we have, but will also allow the state of Illinois to move forward in a very progressive way when it comes to the elimination of cash bail.
Champaign County State's Attorney Julia Reitz is leading the negotiations for prosecutors across the state. She says she is confident that once a good legislative solution is reached, most, if not all, of the lawsuits will go away.
Those of us who are involved in the negotiations are not filing lawsuits because we understand that if we were to file a lawsuit, we would lose our place at the table.
To see our full interview with Champaign County State's Attorney and the president of the Illinois State's Attorney Association, Julia Reitz, tune in to Capital Connection this Sunday.
Cole, thank you. Capital Connections is right here on WCIA 3 News, Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Moore's Rescue Ranch held its first vendor fair in Champaign to help raise money and get foster families. WCIA 3's Ariana Williams tells us why they can't take any animals in right now.
Moore's Rescue Ranch is a new animal rescue. They help abused and disabled animals. They want to expand, but they need foster families and money.
Right now we're relying on fosters to do that, and we desperately need the funds so that we can build the building.
To help, they held their first ever vendor fair. 15 local vendors came out to help the rescue ranch raise money for a new building to house animals. But the plans for their building go beyond helping pets in need.
And once the building's up, we're going to partner with different groups that cater to children with disabilities.
Kimberly Deluge, president of the rescue, says she plans on teaching children with special needs how to care for pets who need special attention. Rob Deluge, Kimberly's son, says helping these animals is more humane than euthanization.
Dogs and animals, whether that be physical or mental, are also even less likely to be adopted than your average dog in a shelter. So that's why we're especially wanting to focus on those and match them with people, ideally, who also maybe have more life experiences.
Group treasurer Earl Stevens says the extra help needed often turns people away. A new building and foster homes could help fix that.
We would still want fosters available if we would have an overflow of, dogs, cats we have to take in.
Deluge says to shelter 12 animals, it costs $250,000.
But with COVID, the price of material has gone up so much that contractors have given us outlandish prices for a building.
In the future, they hope to care for horses as well. In Champaign, Ariana Williams with WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Ariana, thank you. Though this is the first year they've held the vendor fair, Deluge says it's becoming a new tradition. If you would like to donate or foster, their contact information can be found on our website. All right, Seth joins me now. Seth, it was a pretty chilly day today. I got to attend the first part of the game before coming into work. Do you think we're going to see those chilly temperatures throughout the week?
I do think we're going to continue to see those chilly temperatures, which it felt good today. I mean, it just feels like football weather. But yeah, we're going to have some temperatures that I don't think many people are going to be a fan of here later on this week. I'll tell you all about that as well as the rest of the full forecast after this.